Hello guys, welcome to another exciting day. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to YG Digital World. I remain your regular host, Agu Joseph. So on today's party flyer design tutorial, one of the main focus will be on how to come up with a good design layout precisely, and how to come up with the use of colors, how to make use of colors precisely. So we'll be talking a little on the color scheme. Okay, we will be making use of the triadic color scheme, okay, which is among the other color schemes in the color wheels precisely. So in carrying out this design project, I'll be making use of Photoshop 2023. Please and please, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notification to get notification whenever I upload new content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. Please and please don't forget to give this video a like. Please do well to give this video a like. Okay, so first and first, in the design phase, we have to create our Canva workspace on which the design will be carried out on. Okay, so first and first, here we'll come over here on the new file and click on the new file precisely. So over here we'll be making use of the 4 by 4 inches of measurement of units. Okay, inches is the units of measurement, 4 by 4 precisely. The resolution remains on 300. Okay, our color mode remains on RGB. So this design will basically be used on social media platforms. Okay, so we leave other settings the way they are and we click on the create. So here we have our Photoshop Canva workspace. Okay, so the next phase here, I'll be giving you a preview of how I intend to carry out this design in terms of layouts precisely. Okay, over here you have a Canva workspace, and I intend to with the information provided for this tutorial purpose, over here I would like to make my Canva workspace by dividing them into 3 portions precisely. Okay, so over here by this left hand side, I'll be placing in the light, that is my background light over here. Same will be done at this other edge as well. Okay, I'm placing light flare, that is light reflection, on both ends. While at this side, I'll be placing in the theme of the event precisely. Okay, we're placing in the theme of the event, okay, with the name of the organizing body at the top here. Okay, over here I'll be placing in my model image precisely, that is over here. While at this side, I'll be placing in a detailed description of the event venue and its location. While over here I intend to place in a call number for reservation. Okay, over here beside the theme, I'll be placing in my date and time for the event, that is beside the theme precisely. Okay, trying to create a proximity among my elements precisely. Okay, so while beside here, I'll be placing in the music policy, the hype policy, and other events that will be taking place, that is the futures. Okay, so this is a simple preview of how I intend to carry out this design. So if you notice, I'm trying to create proximity. Over here I have my theme, over here I have the model image, and over here I have other set of information that will be placed here. Okay, so without further ado, let me move to the next phase of this design, which has to do with the colors. Okay, so here I want to drag in this into here. Okay, turn off this. So over here I'll be making use of the triadic color scheme precisely. So the triadic color scheme precisely has to do with a color. Okay, unlike the complementary color scheme, here is a color, and for example here this is green and the complementary of this green is red. So in this design I'll be making use of this cyan color precisely, instead of making use of the complementary, which is this orange, I'll be making use of the triadic, that is the color beside the opposite color on the wheel. So instead of picking this, I'll be picking this and this, as well as this blue precisely. That's the colors I'll be using. Okay, that's for that. So without further ado, let's get into the design phase. So I have to delete these layers. So in the first phase for this design, I usually drag in all my exercise materials for this project. So I'll just drag them into my Photoshop Canva workspace. So I'll turn them off and work with each and every one of them one at a time. Okay, so over here precisely, I will have to take the color code above every other. Okay, pick my move tool and adjust its position. Let me place it along this side precisely. Okay, here are the set of colors I'll be using. Okay, so the first phase of this design here, we have to come to the adjustment panel all the way to gradient fill. So on the gradient, I'll come over here and pick a color of my choice. Let me say this, for example. This can be a color I'll be working with. So I'll come over to this gradient and make an expansion all the way to the gradient editor. So over here on this particular slider, I'll expand this and pick this color precisely. Okay, so while over here, I will expand this and pick this other color over here. Okay, and I'll click on OK. I'll leave other settings the way they are and I'll click on OK. That is for this. So in the next phase, I'll have to move to here where I have this image. Okay, I will turn on the eye icon precisely. Okay, I'll hit Ctrl T to transform, right click and flip this, rotate it clockwise. Sorry, you rotate it clockwise precisely. So I'll adjust the position. Okay, right click and destruct this precisely. So I'll come over here, adjust the position this way, that is the angle of the light. You can choose to expand the light the way you want it to be on the project. Okay, so after doing that, I'll check. Okay, start doing that, come over here, change the blending to luminosity precisely. So after changing it to luminosity, you come over here, add a vector mask to this. Okay, starting a vector mask, you pick your brush tool precisely over here. Okay, use the open and close bracket key beside the P button on your keyboard to transform the size of your brush. Okay, make sure that your vector mask is selected and your foreground color is set on black. So you come over here and you take out this precisely. Okay, you take this out. Okay, this way. So after doing that, you can make a duplicate of this by hitting Ctrl J on your keyboard, Ctrl T to transform, right click and you flip this horizontally and you drag it and place it this way precisely. Okay, so after doing that, I noticed that I have to create room for other elements for this design. So I'll come over here and adjust my flows to, let me say about, let me say 11 or 12 is okay. Select my max layer. I need to take out some of the pixels of this precisely. So I'll come over here, I'll brush out this edge of this image. Okay, I don't need this to be a focus. Come over here, take out some of the pixels for this image. Okay, that's for that. So after doing that, we'll move to the next phase. Okay, but before doing that, I'll have to take out some of this part of this image. Okay, I've taken this out. So the next phase has to do with placing of other information. But before moving to the information phase, I need to enable this model image. So I have to drag this along this path, okay, and enable the model image. So in order for me to actually proceed in this design process, okay, I have to make sure that my design layouts are actually neat and organized. So I'll select this first, we shift select this and hit Ctrl G to group them together. Okay, start grouping them together, make sure that they are all grouped together with your background layer. So I call this BG, which stands for my background. Okay, so next phase will be working on the model image. So I hit Ctrl T. Okay, but before doing that, I always advise that you should always convert your image of your model to a smart object so that it enables you to maintain quality whenever you actually transform. By scaling up or scaling down the size, it won't actually lose its quality. Okay, so I hit Ctrl T. After converting it to a smart object, then make a little adjustment this way and take the model image down this way. Okay, so after doing that, I'll check. Okay, I'll make a duplicate of the model image, hold my Alt in between the two layers. You notice my mouse pointer changes to this. I have to make a click mark by left clicking. You notice you have a click marks on the main model image. So I'll come to my filter here. I'm trying to create a depth in terms of my model image. Okay, so I can come over here. I don't want to see more of the skin color. I want to see more of the skin tones. Okay, so I can set it around this. Click on OK. I change the blending mode to soft light. So after doing that, I'll come to my hues and saturation and come over here, add the hues. Make sure the clip mask is selected. Then over here, I'll have to add more hues to the model image. Okay, you can see before and after. So I'll come over here again, add a curve to this. Okay, so over here I'll be adding a depth in terms of the highlight. Okay, and make a little adjustment in terms of the shadows. Okay, I think this is actually coming to life. Okay, so over here you notice that we have the model wearing a blue attire. So I'll come over here all the way to the hues, to the selective color precisely, make a click mark and make sure, okay, the cyan is selected. So I need to boost up the color on this precisely. So we have to add more of cyan to this. Okay, I think about something like this is okay for this project. Okay, this is before and after. You can see the effect on the model image. So I select this, hold shift, select the last layer of the model image, hit Ctrl G to group it and call this model precisely. Okay, so after doing that, we'll move to the next phase that has to do with placing of text and other information. Okay, so I'll come over here all the way to my notepad and I'll slide over here and copy out this text. Okay, pick my text tool precisely, left click over here and place in the text I'll be using. So the font I'll be using for this theme of the event is called Evil Empire. Okay, so I'll come over here, I'll click on this, change my color to red and I'll pick a color along this edge here. I'll check. Okay, after doing that, hit Ctrl T to transform. Okay, and transform the text very big. Ctrl A to make a quick selection. Pick your move to align this horizontally to the center and deselect. Pick your text tool, come over here, make sure that this text is aligned to the middle. Okay, come over here and reduce the tracking to like about, I think 20 should be good enough. Okay, so I can come over here and scale up the size of this text. Okay, this way, pick my move tool and align it somewhere here. Ctrl A, pick your move tool. Okay, align this horizontally. Ctrl D to deselect. Okay, I've aligned my text to the middle. So before I proceed in this layout of this design process, so I always advise that in order for you to place your text and other information properly in your design, you should always create your design guide. So I'll come over here all the way to my view all the way to guides, and I'll enable my guides precisely. Okay, and here are the parameters I normally use in setting up my guides. Okay, 5%, 5% on. Okay, 5% for all the corners. Okay, 5% precisely. I click on OK. So after doing that, let me adjust this. Come back over here. I'll adjust my leadings. Okay, so come back to my notepad over here. Select this set of text precisely. Select this set of text, copy it, hit your text tool, left click, and paste in the text, okay, that I just copied. So over here I'll change the font to Montserrat. Okay, change this to regular precisely. Okay, and I'll scale down the size, so I'll place it somewhere along this part. Okay, so after doing that, come over here to my character panel and expand the color palette or the color picker to this. Okay, so I'll come over here, select this set of text and change this to, let me say, semi bold, and I'll click on the check. Okay, so over here I'll hit Ctrl T, scale down the size for this text, check, come over here and increase my tracking precisely. Pick my text tool here, and I have to place in the dates for this event. Okay, so I'll turn this to 0, change the font to Evil Empire. Okay, so pick my move tool and position it along this part. Okay, Ctrl T and transform it. Okay, so after doing that, pick my rectangle precisely. Okay, and create a rectangle of, let me say, about this size. Okay, turn off your stroke and enable your fill. Okay, so after doing that, pick your move tool and position this. Okay, Ctrl T and take this down this way. Okay, Ctrl++ to zoom in. Okay, so over here I have made a shape of this nature. So all I have to do is to pick my text tool, left click, and type in the text I need, which is Friday precisely. Okay, I'll hold my control on my keyboard. I'll slide my mouse pointer to where I have the rectangle on my layer panel here and make a quick selection. Notice my mouse pointer changes to an hand icon this way by the side. So I make a quick selection of this. Pick my move to align the text. Make sure your text is selected. Align the text horizontally and vertically to the middle of the shape. Again, you hit Ctrl D. Okay, and I can choose to change the color of this text to, let me say, white precisely. Okay, hit Ctrl T and scale this down. Okay, you can see that it is actually aligned properly. Okay, so after doing that, I can come over here, hold Ctrl to make a quick selection of the text, turn off the text layer, come to where I have the rectangle layer and click on the max layer. That is, click on the max icon. You notice that the rectangle disappears. Okay, so hit Ctrl I to invert max and you notice this happens. Okay, that's for that. So I can still choose to expand the size for this. Okay, so over here I can bring in this text layer. I'll take it down here, pick my text tool, okay, and expand this and place in the time of the event precisely. Okay, so I can still choose to make little adjustments by adjusting the position of my information, okay, as well as this other set of information, okay. You can group them together, okay. So I'll arrange them properly and adjust their position. Okay, that's for that. So after doing this, I'll hit Ctrl H to hide my guide in case I need to hide it. So come to my notepad here and copy out this set of information. Okay, pick my text tool, come over here, left click and paste in this text. Pick the left alignment position, change the font to Montserrat precisely. Okay, change this to, let me say, medium, and I'll change only the future text to, let me say, bold precisely, and I'll check. Okay, but before doing that, let me change the color of this text to this. Okay, why the color for the future text, I'll change it to this shade of yellow. I'll hit on this. Okay, that's for that. Hit Ctrl T and transform the size of this information. Check, come to your character panel and adjust the space between text. Okay, let me say 4.5 line spacing between text. I think this is looking nice. Pick your move tool and adjust the position this way. Okay, I noticed that my background is too flat, so I need to add a little depth to this. So I hit Ctrl Shift N. I've gone back to my background group. I'll call this noise precisely. Change the color to soft light. Enable 50% gray option. Convert this. Right click to convert it to a smart object. Slide over to your filter all the way to noise. Add noise. Okay, I'll be boosting the noise strength to, let me say, about 10 is okay. That is for this. Okay, so I'll move to the next phase that has to do with the model layer. Okay, for the model layer here, I have to make a little adjustment to it. Okay, so for this, I'll add the vector marks to this. After adding the vector marks, you can come here, select your gradient all the way to your gradient here. You can select the basic black and white precisely. Okay, make sure the linear is selected, and you can come over here, hold shift, and you can brush out this way. Okay, that's for that. So I noticed that I also still need to add depth to the theme of the event. It's too flat for my liking, so all I have to do is to actually double click on this, on the layer of the theme of the event. Come over here. Okay, I think the depth is okay, the size okay. Let me adjust this a little. I'll leave the contour. I'll leave the contour as it is. So let me adjust the altitude. The altitude, I think, is nice this way. So I'll leave other settings the way. I'll click on OK precisely. So I'll make a duplicate of the layer by hitting Ctrl J. Okay, so on the duplicated layer, take it beneath. Okay, so right click and clear layer styles. Okay, on the character panel, you can still adjust the color this way. Okay, and I'll click on OK. Pick my move tool to make a little adjustment. Okay, and I'll change the color, that is the blending, to soft light precisely. Okay, that's for that. That's for this. Okay, so after doing this, I have to place other set of information at this bottom part. Okay, come to my notepad here, copy out my text, my set of text. Okay, pick my text tool over here, left click and paste in the text. Okay, So after left clicking and pasting in the text, you come over here, select this other set of text and change your font to Montserrat precisely. Okay, medium should be okay for this, and reduce the size. Let me say 4.5. Okay, or let me say 4.8. I think it's okay this way. So I'll adjust the space between the text. I need to still add a little depth to this design by enabling these other layers that I turned off earlier. So I'll enable this and change the blending to screen. I'll also enable this, Ctrl T, transform and scale it up. Okay, check, change this to screen as well. Okay, for this I'll change this to about 13 pixels. That is 13% opacity, while this I'll change this to 16% of opacity. Okay, you can see how it looks on the project. Okay, and choose to add a vector mask on the layer. Pick my brush, make sure the layer is selected, make sure your foreground color is set on black. Okay, right click and make sure you're working on the soft round brush. Opacity, you can control your flows precisely. Scale up your size of your brush using the open and close bracket key beside your P button, and you can take out some of the plastics from your project. Okay, so over here as well, I can just hold Alt to make a duplicate of this and apply it to the other layer beneath. Okay, I have to stand visible by hitting Ctrl Alt Shift E. Make sure you are on the last layer at the top. So this layer here is the color layer, so I'll disable it. Hit Ctrl Shift Alt E to stand visible. Okay, right click and convert it to a smart object. Okay, so we need to come to filter all the way to camera raw. On the camera raw here, we'll be adding a little detail to this precisely. So let me add a little sharpening to this project, and let me reduce the noise for this project a little. I think this is okay. So come over to the color mixer all the way to our hues precisely. So on the hues here, we'll be working on colors precisely. Okay, I think the project is okay this way. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, do well to smash the like button, okay. If you're a new subscriber, do well to smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notification to get notification whenever I upload new content. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. Okay, please, if you have any question, any comments, you can leave your questions and comments in the comment section. Check the video description for the exercise files, that is the resource files for this project. Okay, and please don't forget to join the Telegram group. The link is in the video description. Thank you guys for watching.